double our treadmill time. It's ridiculous just because of this. At this time, are there any current or present members of the boards of our athletic association or our alumni association or our foundation? If you are here, would you please stand and be recognized, because you are a huge part of what makes this possible. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all you do. At this time, it is my great privilege to ask, as we hurtle towards the start of the semester on the 19th, to ask our 18th and current president, who is here, as noted earlier, with her husband, Dr. Stephen O'Grady, Dr. Diana Lovell, to give her welcome. President Lovell.
Welcome, everyone. We're so excited you're here with us tonight on the Hilltop. SWOSU is thrilled to honor tonight's inductees. The SWOSU Hall of Fame recognizes the talents and dedication of our athletes, some of the most outstanding student athletes in Oklahoma. I know it will be a very special evening, so bon appetit.
Okay, good evening, and thanks for being here. Go ahead, and I know some of you in the back are still finishing up, so we're going to go ahead and get started with things. My name's Todd Helton. I'm the athletic director here at Southwestern. Again, thank you for being here to honor these three special individuals for their illustrious careers as SWOSU Bulldogs and beyond. So we're going to get started right away here with our first inductee, and that is Hayden Priddy. Okay, Hayden Priddy spent her entire four-year career at SWOSU, capped off by an All-American senior season that saw the Lady Bulldogs finish with a 35-2 record. And an appearance in the Division II National Championship game. During her prolific final season, Hayden was selected to 3 different All-American teams and was named the NCAA Central Region and Great American Conference Player of the Year. She was at her best during that unforgettable 2019 postseason run, the longest in GAC history, when she earned a spot on the All-GAC tournament team before being named the most outstanding player at the Central Regional Championships. Hayden was also named the Jim Thorpe AAU Athlete of the Year that year, an annual award with past winners such as Sam Bradford, Baker Mayfield, and Jason White. Priddy is SWOSU's all-time leader in assists, while ranking second in three-pointers and third in both scoring and free throws made. In her career, she was named All-GAC selection 3 times and an All-Region selection twice. At SWOSU, she was part of 101 wins, 2 GAC regular season championships, 1 GAC tournament championship, 1 Central Region championship, and had appearances at the NCAA Elite 8 in the national championship game. Hayden was hired at SWOSU in the recruitment office following her days as a student athlete before transitioning into coaching. In 2023, she joined her former SWOSU coach, Kelsey Music, at Oral Roberts University as an assistant women's basketball coach, a role she currently holds. So it is my pleasure to introduce former SWOSU women's basketball coaches, Kelsey Music and Sophie Anderson, who will introduce Hayden.
Thank you guys so much for being here, and it's an honor to be able to introduce Hayden and Hailey in a little bit. But I just want to say a few things before they get to come up here. Obviously, this is their night, and they both truly deserve this. I just want to tell one quick story on Hayden. The list is long for these two, but I'll try to keep it short. The good thing is I still get to yell at Hayden on a daily, so that brings me great joy. Hayden didn't initially start her freshman season, and it was late January. We were playing at Harding University. Hayden has to come in, and right before halftime, we had an injury. Hayden comes in right before halftime, and we don't get a shot off before halftime because my point guard, Hayden Priddy at the moment, didn't pay attention and know what the clock was on the clock and the game clock and the shot clock. So clock goes off. Mind you, I'm 5 weeks postpartum. I'm pretty sure I might have chased her, even though it wasn't a very solid sprint at that point in my life. Meet her at half court and gave her a solid talking to. Needless to say, she never did that again. So there's a lot of stories. The one thing I can say is that I love about Hayden Priddy is you could coach her extremely hard. She came in here as a freshman. She didn't initially start. From that moment forward, after that solid butt chewing at half court, she never looked back. She started every game as a point guard since then. And you know, when we played in the region championship versus Fort Hays, we had 4 of our starters on the bench in foul trouble prior to halftime. And Hayden literally put us on her back that night and carried us through until we could get to halftime and get 4 more players back in there to help us out at that point. But, you know, I couldn't be more proud of what she was able to do. We had a vision here at SWOSU, Coach Anderson and I. You know, we've been together since '09, and when we first got here to build this program, we weren't very good. And, you know, Hayden was one of those that bought into our program wholeheartedly. She worked hard every day. I think the one thing I can say about both Hailey and Hayden is that they could take a butt chewing with the best of them. They were definitely our star players, but at the end of the day, they worked hard all the time. And sometimes you get star players that don't work hard in practice, and you could never say that they didn't work hard. They worked hard all the time. And they wanted to win as much as we did, and that's why we were able to build a championship program and bring success back to SWOSU, was because they worked hard all the time in practice, off the floor. They represented us well, but no matter what, they wanted to win just as much as we did. One other quick story: we're having an elite camp in here before her senior year, and I remember a little girl asking her. She said, you know, the little girl said, we're supposed to win a state championship this year. Hayden said, well, we're not supposed to lose a game and win a national title. So that was the mentality they had, and I love that. And I couldn't be more proud to be able to stand here and to introduce our very own Hayden Priddy. I couldn't be more proud, and I'm so proud of you and honored to be here tonight. Hayden Priddy.
Peace out. Thanks. Okay, hi everyone. I'm gonna try to smile because my mom said anytime that I do anything like this, I look like I don't want to be here, and that's not true at all. I really do want to be here. This is such an honor. I'm so thankful that I get to be in this club, I guess. I remember playing here, and Kelly Litch is obviously the legend, and to be in the same club as her is just mind-blowing. I was kind of hoping I wouldn't go first because Hailey is the communications major, and so I was hoping that I could kind of pick up from her, but here I am. And I also did write stuff down because I am very much known for winging it, and I didn't think this was too appropriate for that. I guess I'll start off with thanking my mom and dad, my first coaches. They very much put up with a lot. None of you knew me when I was little, but they had to time me with a calendar to see if I was moving. My dad said I played from three-point line to three-point line because by the time I got down the court, they were heading the other direction. I guess that's why I became a point guard. So you guys taught me how to be tough. You always asked me if I was hurt or if I was injured. I was always injured, but glad we got through that. And I just thank you guys so much for being the player that I am, and I think the most important thing you guys taught me was just to be a good teammate, a good person. It doesn't matter what you do individually, just as long as the team wins. So, thank you guys. Granny and Papa, thank you guys. You guys rarely missed a game. My granny made a comment the other day. She said, I just love to watch your games now because I like to see what you're gonna wear. Kind of sucked because I wish I was still playing, but thank you guys for never missing a game, even still. Coy and Dax, you guys didn't want to be here because in your words, you said, I don't want to watch you win another award. Glad you guys can make it. I have a couple of coaches that aren't here tonight that mean a whole lot to me. Trevor White, he was my AAU coach. He always taught me it's okay to make mistakes. So Coach Music and Coach Anderson, all of the mistakes I made, you can blame him. Because when I made those mistakes, he would say, it's okay, baby girl, it's okay. So you can thank him. Jamie Hill, my high school coach, she definitely gave me the confidence that I had to be the player that I became. And so she was awesome. She still is awesome, but yeah. My college coaches, there is way too much to thank you guys for. I came on my visit to SWOSU on October 3rd, 2014. It was the last visit that I took, and my dad came with me. Being on the coaching side of things now, I see that you guys did a really good job of when I came on my visit. I was like Piedmont's most school spirit. So when I got here, we dressed up for the volleyball game. We like put on old school jerseys and we cheered and we had a student section and it was so fun. But I know now that you're supposed to do that for every player. But I thought I was special. So they say like when you know where you want to go. When I left, I didn't think I knew. But my dad came with me and he said that I talked the whole way home, different from all my other visits, and so he said that I knew. We made lots of pros and cons lists, said lots of prayers, trying to decide where I was going to go, and God definitely knew what he was doing. I was actually thrifting, because I love to do that at Goodwill, and I was like praying, like, please God, give me a sign of where I'm supposed to go, because I had it narrowed down to my top 3, but I really didn't know. And I was thrifting, I was going through the racks, and there was this baby blue crew neck, and it said SWOSU on it. And I still have it, so I wish I would have brought it. But it was definitely a God thing. My dad made me call all the other coaches first, because he's a mean old dad. And then finally I could call Coach Music and Coach Anderson, and I'm pretty sure Coach Music didn't answer because she never answers when I call. So I called Coach Anderson, and so yeah, it was really good. But God knew what he was doing. He definitely did, in bringing me here, not only for those 4 years that I was here, but in the almost 10 years that have happened since then. It's been definitely a blessing. You're more than just family to me. If I can find where I lost my page. Oh no. I was doing so good, guys. If I can find it. Anyway, you're more than just family, or you're more than just coaches to me. You're my family. And I thank you guys for bringing me in 10 years ago and making me part of your family. And to my little besties, Maddox, Cam, Titus, sis. Yeah, Titus, stand up. Let them know. So, I love being you guys' friend mom, as Titus calls me, because sometimes I feel like a mom, sometimes I feel like a friend. So, everyone else that's here to support me, all my friends, family, teammates, even a few of my current players, Mac, G, and Mary, thank you guys for coming. I don't always do a good job of showing emotions or showing my appreciation, but I am so, so, so thankful that you guys are here. It means so much to me. And Hailey, congratulations. If you know me and Hailey, you know that we are sisters. We did not always see eye to eye. We did not always get along, but she was a great teammate, is a great teammate still. I love you. Congratulations. Someone told me I was supposed to tell some stories when I get up here. I don't want to tell too many. Tay, Tyra, I'll save you guys. KP, I'll save you guys from telling any stories. If you guys want to know, find me later. I would love to tell you. But I will tell some infamous one-liners of Coach Music because she is very well known for that. One thing Coach always says and still always says is mental is to physical as 4 is to 1. Always. I will literally probably be on my deathbed and I will be saying that. But it's true. Mental is to physical as 4 is to 1, except at 6 a.m. whenever you're running for an hour and everything is absolutely tired. So another thing Coach always said is you can't do the right thing sometimes. Do you want a sometimes boyfriend? Do you want him to love you sometimes? And I remember thinking, like, yeah, actually, that would not be too bad. Like, I'm cool with that, so. And my personal favorite, any game, I don't know whether we were playing good or not, but me and Hailey would be in the huddle, and she'd be like, Priddy, Tucker, make a shot. And I would walk off to Hailey and I'd be like, you've been missing on purpose? Me too. So, no, they're great. I do love coaching with them. I love being with them, but I wouldn't have them without SWOSU. And I'm very thankful to have been a dog for the 4 years that I was there, because as Coach Music always said, these will be the best 4 years of your life. So, go Dogs.
I want to give each of our recipients tonight a little gift from my office. We opened the SWOSU archives, which are all digital, and put in her name, and got a lot of sports reports, news reports that were written, and photographs, and I hope that you will treasure this. And when you want to look up your friends at SWOSU, of course it's free, just Google SWOSU archives.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's going to be a recurring theme tonight about how special this place is, Southwestern, how much it's affected a lot of the majority of people in this room. So, great job. Our next inductee this evening is Woody Roof. Woody Roof is from Thomas, Oklahoma. He returned close to home for his senior football season in 1971 after spending 3 seasons at Oklahoma State. Roof's presence and impact on the Bulldog defense was immediate, as he went on to set an Oklahoma Collegiate Athletic Conference single season record for interceptions, and helped lead the Dogs to an 8-2 record and a conference championship. The Bulldogs captured the program's 11th title in 1971, and Roof was named All-Conference for his efforts. He went on to obtain 2 degrees from SWOSU and began a successful 40-year career in coaching throughout Oklahoma, both college and high school. His coaching path circled back to SWOSU when he was the offensive coordinator and head track and field coach from 79 to 82. During that 4-year span, Coach Roof and the Bulldogs won 7 games 3 times and captured the 1980 Oklahoma Intercollegiate Conference Championship. With a laundry list of career coaching accolades, too many to mention really, in the high school ranks, he eventually retired from the profession for good in 2017 while he was at Weatherford High School. He is most notably a 5-time state championship coach, which includes 2 state titles here at Weatherford High School. He's a member of numerous Halls of Fames. Honored to be able to put him in the Southwestern Hall of Fame. He and his wife Lynn currently still reside in Weatherford. And so now to introduce Coach Roof, let's give a warm welcome to former SWOSU football player, Pat Lewis.
Thank you, Coach. Hayden, Hailey, that 2019 season was magical. I was streaming it during the championship game. How this forward shoots a 3-pointer out of what? I can't believe it. I still can't believe it. But congratulations, you guys, and welcome to the Hall of Fame. Good evening. My name is Pat Lewis, and I had the greatest fortune of playing for Coach Woody Roof for 3 out of the 4 seasons that he was here. To say I was blown away, honored, and emotional when he asked me to introduce him it would be a huge understatement. I mean, this guy butted heads against Steve Owens. He was all Big 8 in the day. Then he came to Southwestern and was all conference. And then he coached at the high school level. And like Coach said, he won 5 state championships. Now, Coach, in the last month, you're the second coach that I've witnessed inducted into the Hall of Fame. Garen Higgins was inducted last month, and I don't know how many coaches I'm going to carry into this Hall of Fame business, but I'm glad you're one of them. But seriously, some of my teammates are here. They know that's a bunch of bull. I was highly recruited by nobody. They said I was a 4-tool player, no speed, no size, no strength, and no clue. But I got to play for this man over here, which is possibly one of the best coaches ever to come through Oklahoma, and he gave me the confidence to play, not only on the field, but to take those lessons off the field and move through life. My freshman year, we thought, that, I came. It was right after the Oil Bowl mare, and I thought, man, I'm jumping on a train wagon here, buddy. But Coach Davenport retired. Coach Mazey started the program, probably one of the best defensive coordinators around, but he was coaching offense that year. And we had a 3-5-1 record that year. And meanwhile, Coach was over at Watonga, just a little bit northwest here, coaching his second consecutive state championship. Nevertheless, my sophomore year, Coach Roof came, and it changed our trajectory tremendously, back to the winning days. I think my sophomore year we were 7-2, we were 7-4 the next year. Then we were 9-2, but we had to forfeit some games. And like Forrest Gump says, that's all I'm going to say about that. For those who played for Coach Roof, and I'll explain this to you, and the others will know, he was not a screamer. He didn't holler at you. He didn't swear, at least not where you could hear. And but he was intense, and you could see that intensity when the jaws clamped down. And you could see it in his eyes, and you could hear it in his speech when he talked to you. Steve Price, talked to him earlier this week. He was a 2011 inductee into the Southwestern Hall of Fame. And he told me this story. During a practice, Woody was getting on to Steve, and Steve was not liking it. And the more Coach got onto him, the more Steve, became withdrawn. And finally, he just got where he just wasn't listening to anything that Coach said. Well, Coach was having no part of it. So Steve's getting ready to call a play in the huddle, and Coach comes up behind him and slaps him on the back of the head with his clipboard. If you ever have a helmet on and somebody hits you with that helmet on, it sounds 10 times worse than a thunderstorm. Nevertheless, Coach didn't yell at Steve, but he calmly said to Steve, he said, and I quote, he goes, "Steve, what kind of player and person do you want to be? Do you want to be the kind of person that never wants feedback? Or do you want to be the person where you can improve and become better? If you do, if you aspire to be great and live a life marked by achievement, and you want to be great, you need to seek and welcome feedback from others and always look for ways to improve yourself." Steve wanted desperately to come tonight, but travel would not allow him. He wanted to say, "Coach, you helped him establish a mindset that set the trajectory for the rest of his life." And if you guys know Steve Price, you know he's had a pretty successful life so far. But anyway, he just wanted to say he was very honored that you were his coach. Todd Nix, last year's inductee into the Hall of Fame. Hey, Todd, I don't know if you guys realize this, but on the field, there's usually more than one guy calling out signals. The other guy calling out signals is the center, telling them what blocking assignments to do and all that. He could be the smartest guy on the team, or at least the second smartest guy on the team. But anyway, Coach Roof had confidence in Steve calling out those formations, or Todd calling out those formations on defense. And Todd took that trust that was given to him by Coach Roof, and he used it in life. And he not only was a good leader on the field, but he's a great leader off the field. Tom Middlebrook's back there. Hey, Tom. Player for Coach. Tom probably could have been conceivably the best backup quarterback Southwestern ever had. He had to come in his freshman year and against Northwestern, and he threw for 3 touchdowns, but then he had 3 interceptions and 3 fumbles. Now, on Sunday when we're doing the game films and everything, and after lifting weights and jumping in the pool, Coach Ruff pulls him to the side and he goes, "You picked a heck of a time to do a trifecta, Tom." But you know what? He never lost confidence in Tom, because Tom continued to be that backup quarterback numerous times over and over. You know, what it boils down to is Coach has a secret sauce of success. And I don't know whether it's the X and O's. I don't know whether it's how he breaks down the other teams, or maybe just putting the right guys in the right position. But I think it's an ability to read the hearts of your players. Maybe it was when he was an undersized linebacker at OSU that he could relate to us guys that maybe weren't the biggest and fastest, but he could also see what kind of heart we had. I think that he knew if you gave all your heart on the field and for your coaches and your teammates, then you were going to be successful and win. And we won a lot when he was here. In closing, I want to thank Vance Nye for helping me come up with the process of getting Coach into the Hall of Fame. I assumed he was already here. So I was surprised when I found out he wasn't. But if all the players that are here, Joe, Don, Mark, and the rest of you guys would stand up for a second, I would appreciate it. That played under Coach Ruff. Coach Stansmore. On behalf of all the players who had the fortune and the honor to play under you, Coach, I am proud and humbled to recognize Coach Woody Ruff into the class of 2024 Oklahoma State University Athletic Hall of Fame. Southwestern, thank you. Come here, Coach. Let's get a quick picture. All right. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to thank, Pat Lewis for the kind words. It's going to be a struggle for me talking today. I apologize to all of you. My health's not the greatest, but what I'm receiving today is a great honor, and I'm very appreciative of that honor. I'm not going to talk very long. I think most of the people who know me, I'm not a big talker. I think action takes care of what you want to say. And that's what I've always kind of followed in my coaching career. But let's start out with thanking the people that I need to thank for this honor. First of all, Dr. Lovell, I thank you for the leadership that you show at this university. It's a class university, first class all the way. And it starts from the head and works down, and you've done a great job. I'm proud to be called a Bulldog. Todd Helton, athletic director, same thing. It's a class act. He's hired and worked with the kids and worked with them. It's a college that takes pride in doing things right. We might not always win all the games, but we do things right. And that's the main thing, is growing up and learning the lessons through athletics. The selection committee. I don't know who's on it, but somebody would tell me who's on the selection committee. I'd like to thank them for this honor. Vance Nye. Vance Nye is a young man that I coached high school football in Weatherford High School. Went on to play college ball here at Southwestern. They don't make many better than Vance. He's a professional. If he did something wrong, he said, "Coach, can we do it again?" I said, "Yeah." And he did it wrong again. I said, "Coach, can we do it again?" I said, "How many times are we going to do it, Vance?" He said, "Till I get it right." He's a professional. I'd like to thank my wife, my kids. My two daughters are graduates of Southwestern. My wife's a graduate of Southwestern. And we all bleed Bulldog Blue. This is a very special honor for me. One reason that makes it special is because it's for my work as an assistant coach. Too much credit goes to the head coach. We all know that. I've had offers for being a head coach, but being an assistant coach and get an offer is truly heartwarming. And I'd like to thank the committee and all the players that played for me. It's just a fantastic deal. Too much credit always went to the head coach. And two of my greatest assistants I ever had the opportunity to coach with are in this room tonight. And I'd like to honor them. Lee Breyer, would you stand up? Lee Breyer I coached with for 2 years as an ex-Bulldog, and they don't make many better than Lee Breyer. It's my great honor to be with you for 2 years, Lee. Thanks for coming. The other one is Charles Teasley. Charlie, would you stand up? Charlie and I coached for quite a few years at Weatherford High School. Both of us are Southwestern graduates. What a class act. It's just great to be known that I coached with you, Charlie. Thank you. And I'd like to take this time to talk about two men who had a huge part in my playing and coaching career here at Southwestern. The first one was Otis Delaporte. Some of you might know Otis. He is my coach here in '71, played for the Bulldogs. When I transferred down here from OSU in 1970, I didn't have a scholarship. I didn't transfer down here to play football. I just transferred down here to try to get my act together and finish school and get out and get a job. That's what my old man told me I needed to do, so I thought I better do it. Well, while I was my first year down here at Southwestern, I got a job. Some of you might remember the All Sports on Main Street. There's a place you could buy sporting goods stores, sporting good equipment. We made jerseys and uniforms for small towns around. But it had in the back, it had a room in there where all the coaches would come in and drink coffee and eat free donuts. And Otis was one of the big ones that always showed up. And one day Otis come in the All Sports Center and he walked by me and said, "Hey, Woody, I need to talk to you." And I said, "Okay." And we sat down, I got a cup of coffee, and he said, "You ever thought about playing any more football?" I said, "No, I really haven't thought about it." I said, I'm trying to get my act together school-wise, and I'll tell you, Otis, my body's about had it. I've had 4 knee operations, 4 concussions, a dislocated disc. You name it, I've had it. I spent more time in the hospital than I did on the football field. He said, "Well, you think about it. And if you want to, give me a call, we'll make it work out. He said, we'll put you out to graze. Now, that's a key word in this speech, put you out to graze, because I didn't understand it at that time. Well, 2 days later, I gave him a call. I said, Otis, I'm ready. I would like to play for Southwestern. Well, make a long story short, we come to practice the first day. I go down our defensive practice. We're right here on this, where this building's at. There's the practice field. And the defense always practiced here, and Otis was the offensive coordinator. I mean, the head coach. He always took the offense up on the playing field. So the defense was down here. Anyway, we was going through drills, and Otis happened to walk by the defensive linebackers drill work. And he saw me there. He come over there and grabbed me. He said, "What are you doing, Ruff?" Well, I thought I was trying to make the ball club, Coach. He said, I told you we're going to put you out to pasture. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you go play free safety back there where nobody can hit you. It worked out pretty good. So I owe him a lot. The second one is Bob Maisie. Bob was the head coach here when I was at Watonga, finishing 6 years of high school coaching. He made the opportunity to come down and be the offensive coordinator. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Just 6 years experience, and I've got a chance to be the offensive coordinator at a university. But anyway, somehow I got the job. And it was 4 great years. Had tremendous kids. I mean, the 2 quarterbacks I had, think about this. Tommy Middlebrooks and Steve Price were the 2 quarterbacks for 4 years. 2 great athletes. Tommy's son played Major League Baseball for the Boston Red Sox and the Texas Rangers. Apple don't fall very far from the tree, people. That's the kind of talent we had at Southwestern. Steve Price, another young man, was the quarterback. Only thing his son did was the quarterback at Wake Forest, Division I university. That's the kind of talent we had. They made my job easy. I appreciated them all. The most important thing I think I could say in my speech, besides giving credit to the people who deserve it and thanking the people who were part of it, is the players. I've gone on to be very successful professionally. A lot of these players we still stay in contact. I don't know, they still give me calls, asking me how I'm doing. And that speaks very highly of the young men I had the opportunity to coach here at Southwestern. And for me to stand up here today in not too great a health, but I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Thank you. This picture I caught from about 10 years ago.
I'm so glad they didn't put you out to pasture, because in there I read about a game in 1971. Vance and I were probably little tykes in the stadium there. I don't think I was allowed to miss any home games back in the day, and I bet you weren't either. And it said in this game he had 2 interceptions, several tackles, and something else in there. There was something else he accomplished and was very successful in that game. So I bet Vance and I were there. We were just kind of little back then. So thank you so very much. We're honored to have you here giving you this award tonight, and I hope you'll enjoy the archival things that document your stay here at SWOSU as a coach and as a player. Thank you.
All right. I never got the honor of playing for Coach Roof, but, you know, I know tons of old Bulldogs and, you know, being around Weatherford for so long, all the people that played for Woody, and it's amazing the number of lives this man has affected. So just amazing. So we're going to move on to our final inductee of the evening, Miss Hailey Tucker. Okay. Yeah, round of applause. And you have to bear with me here with all these stats. My goodness. Sorry, but Hailey Tucker enters the Hall of Fame as the most decorated SWOSU women's basketball player of the NCAA era. There's another lady here tonight that had a few honors in NAIA. Hailey was a Lady Bulldog alongside Hayden, as everyone knows, from 15 to 19, and they accrued matching team success, culminating in the national championship game in 2019. She began earning her personal accolades immediately as the first freshman in conference history to be named first team All-GAC selection, while also being awarded the GAC Freshman of the Year award. She became the first player in conference history to earn first team status 4 times, every year she played. Tucker was named the GAC Player of the Year in 2017 and 2018, as well as All-Region and All-American accolades those years. Tucker was also named 2018 NCAA Central Region Player of the Year. She became an All-American in 2017 as an honorable mention and went on to pick up 6 additional All-American honors from 4 separate outlets over the course of her junior and senior seasons, capped off by first team selection by the Women's Basketball Coaches Association in 2019. She was the 2019 GAC Women's Athlete of the Year. In 4 seasons, she earned GAC Player of the Week recognition 14 times, was twice named the National Player of the Week, made 4 GAC All-Tournament teams. She also earned spots on the Central Region and the Elite 8 All-Tournament teams. She became the first player in GAC history to score 2,000 career points and remains the league's all-time leading scorer. Her 224 blocked shots and 276 three-pointers both continue to hold as career program records at SWOSU. And aside from her athletic achievements, Hailey was twice named an academic All-American. She eventually went on to become a 2019 NCAA Women of the Year finalist for academic achievements, athletic excellence, and community service and leadership. In 2023, she was named an NCAA Division II 50th Anniversary Gold Award nominee. We had one of those from our conference of 12 different institutions as a student athlete. And following her playing career, and she became a chief investigative reporter and news anchor, right? Okay, at KWCH 12 in Wichita, Kansas for 5 years, and recently transitioned to Textron Aviation as a senior communications specialist. So one more time, we're going to bring Coach Music and Coach Anderson up, and they are going to introduce Hailey Tucker.
She goes and stations herself up over there. My lovely assistant. A couple things about Hailey. I'll never forget, which is kind of ironic now, but we actually drove, Coach Anderson and I, and Keenan and Emma, and Maddox and Cam were babies. We drove all the way to Bixby, Oklahoma. What's ironic is now I live in Bixby. We drove all the way to Bixby, Oklahoma to watch her play. And most people said we weren't going to get Hailey to come here because she had a bunch of huge D1 offers, and no one thought she would give us the time of day. And we thought, we're going to try anyways, didn't we? And we tried, and fortunate enough for us, Hailey did tell us yes. And so, you know, I think the one thing in the recruiting process with her was helping her understand that she could come and help us build a program and leave a lasting legacy, and that's exactly what she did. Her and Hayden did a lot of that together, but just for Hailey to be able to choose SWOSU, to leave her mark in the history books, I mean, all the things that Coach Helton just read, that was a long list of things that she was able to do. And she did it the moment she stepped on campus as a true freshman, and she made her mark in the Great American Conference. I'll tell you a funny story about Hailey, though. She got some, too. So we were playing a game. I'm pretty sure it might have been here. It might have been on the road, but I know her mom wasn't at this game. I'm pretty sure if I remember right. But the radio was right next to us, and I felt like Hailey wasn't, you know, playing as tough as I needed her to play. And I'm pretty sure I screamed at her, and I said, what are you, I was like, you're acting like a 13-year-old out there. You're getting pushed around like a rag doll. And I'm pretty sure the radio heard me because her mom, I'm pretty sure, asked her after the game. She's like, is that what your coach really said to you? Yes, I did. Another funny story is, you know, their senior year, Channel 9 came out here from Oklahoma City, and they never covered us up until that point at all. We're about to go to the national championship to the Elite Eight. We're the only team left in the state of Oklahoma still playing. Even the Thunder wasn't playing at the time. So Channel 9 comes out to interview us, and they asked about our chaos defense, because obviously everyone knew us for our high-octane offense, and we implemented chaos that year. And I remember the reporter asking Hailey, like, so what did you think when your coach, you know, told you about this? So I thought she was crazy. She just says it right there, right on the air, and I was like, well, you know, what I love is they're always honest, and they did think I was a little crazy, but I always told them there was a method to my madness. And so, like I said, these two especially laid the foundation, but like I said, Hailey could have chose to go a lot of other places, and she chose SWOSU. She chose to join our Bulldog family. She chose to come be a part of the program that we were trying to build here at that time. She left a lasting legacy, and I couldn't have been more proud to be your coach, to get to yell at you all those times. You know, like I said earlier, the one thing that these two could do, and Hailey could definitely do, is they could take a butt chewing, but they took it, but they wanted to win. They were competitors. They worked hard every single day in practice. That last year we brought in a practice team, and we battled. You know, Hailey is tall and could shoot it from the half line, but we put someone just as tall as her that would push her around every day in practice to make her better. And I'm telling you, she battled every single day. You can't say that these ladies didn't work hard, because they were the epitome of hard work, and they're the epitome of discipline and what you would want for a lasting legacy within a program that they help build. And you know, they'll always be remembered for one of the greatest classes. One thing that I don't think that anyone's mentioned today is they also went 22-0 in the conference that senior year. No one has done that since, and that's extremely hard to do, to go in and day out and to not lose a conference game. You know, we won 35 games in a row that year, but to win those 22 games in a row in conference was unthinkable at that moment, and they did that, and they led the way, and they were able to make that lasting impression too of 22-0, and I couldn't have been more proud. But it was a blessing and an honor to coach you, and at this time I would love to introduce Hailey Tucker.
Oh, don't delete that, no? Okay.
Bad idea. Where's my step stool?
A little taller than Coach Music. I used to be a news anchor as well. Thank you, Coach Helton, for
getting through that. I'm sorry. So if the news anchor voice comes out, I'm really sorry. It just happens every time I present. But I was thinking about what the heck am I going to talk about whenever I get up here and talk about a university that gave me literally everything that I ever could have imagined. And every time I thought about this speech, it was, how lucky am I? How lucky are we that we got to be a part of this program and have the coaches that we had? So I'm so thankful for being here with all of you tonight. I can't even tell you how grateful I am to see all of your faces again, faces that I saw every single day for 4 years straight, and now I get to see you again here tonight, and I'm just so thankful. I also think about how lucky am I, like Coach was saying, that I chose here. You see it a lot in today's college world, players going from this college to this college to this college. We got to create that legacy being here for 4 years. And like I said, I got to play for the best coaches ever and got to be their family, and they became my family. And you probably wouldn't get that at a big D1. Those D1s that Coach said that they were recruiting me, I probably wouldn't even have known my head coach at a D1. I was in Coach Music's house like every weekend babysitting my baby, so I got to know them very well. I got to play for an NCAA D2 national championship game. I mean, who gets to say that, right? I mean, who gets to say that they played for a freaking national championship game? Are you kidding me? And you know what? It was never a doubt, like Coach said, that we were going to be there one day. I remember on my recruiting trip, my mom came with me here to Weatherford. And I remember sitting in Coach Music's office, and she was asking me all these questions. And, I told her, I said, I want to win a national championship game. And without hesitation, I think she might have even cut me off. She said, me too. I said, okay, let's do it. What better phrase from a coach to have than that one? It was hard losing that national championship game, but I'm not gonna go into too much detail on that because I'm trying to keep it light up here, but it was hard. And I really thank God for guiding me here. If it wasn't for my faith, I really don't know where I would be, because in my senior year of high school, I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, but I was thinking about, do I even want to play basketball anymore? And now, in hindsight, I'm like, oh my gosh, thank God I came to Southwestern and got to put on that jersey every single night. He has a plan bigger than anyone knows, a plan bigger than any of us can even fathom. And like I said, it's tough losing a national championship game in double overtime. I would have much rather have just lost by 40 than a double overtime, because you're one rebound away. But it changed me as a person. It made me better. It made me stronger. There's also some bad to it, losing in double overtime. But also, a lot of you know this, but after that national championship game, we had some time coming back, and then I had signed a professional contract to go play basketball in Sweden. And that was going to be 8 months of more basketball that I thought I had. But then when I got over there, I wasn't what I needed, it wasn't what I wanted, it was not the same thing that was promised to me. And I got home, and Doug Self had called me a couple months or so after that, and I think he said it best. I lost the love of my life within that time frame. Lost it on the night that I played a national championship game, and then after coming home from Sweden thinking I had 8 more months of basketball. And so again, it just shows you how important something can be to you, especially when you're enveloped in it for 24 years. It changes you. But it also made me stronger. Going through all of that, I go through things at work nowadays. I go through things with my friends, and I'm like, this is peanuts compared to everything that I went through 4 years ago. But we also, we had the best support system here in Weatherford. So when we got on the plane, we were in the airport coming home from the national championship game. We got back to Weatherford. All of you were here to support us, because you knew it was tough. You were there with us every step of the way, but you were there to support us, and we're forever grateful for that. So to my coaches. Coach Anderson, my second mom, my rock, everyone's rocking. whoever you talk to, you're going to be their rock. Thank you for choosing me to play for you, and thank you for being there every step of the way. And thank you for pushing me to do what I thought was impossible for me to do. And also understanding that I was never going to play defense the way that you wanted me to play defense. She used to yell at me every time they would go by me. I said, look, I'm going to block them. Just give me a second. I'm going to block the ball. But I got the job done. Thank you for always being an ear that would listen to anything. Anytime we needed something, we were in her office, and I really appreciate you. And also, thank you for not killing me at a Ouachita. I think it was our junior year. I swear on my life, and I to this day will swear on my life, that the shot clock was off. We were up by 1, so I was just dribbling at half court. I was like, why is anybody fouling me? What is happening? There was time. They got the ball back, and they were about to go score. And Coach Anderson wouldn't talk to me for days, maybe even weeks. But I actually, we won the game, thankfully. So at the end of the game, she was sitting on the bus. She had her hood up. She was pouting on the bus. If anyone's been coached by Coach Anderson, you know that Coach Anderson pout. And I sat right next to her on the bus. You left a seat open, that was your fault. So I sat right next to her, I said, you can't be mad at me. Because that's my mom, that was my family. So having you be mad at me, I couldn't fathom it. But we got it together, we were fine. She still reminds me of that game though. You're one of my favorite people and always will be. I love you and thank you. Coach Music, my other second mom. You kind of stole my thunder because I was going to say it's funny how things work because the first game that she failed to tell you something about this first game that they came to watch me at Bixby. So again, her daughter plays for Bixby. She's a stud. Her kids will play for Bixby, so I just think it's funny how things work. But they came to this game, and it was the worst high school basketball game I think I've ever played in my life. I had 8 points, which for that, I was it. We didn't have very many players, but I was getting triple teamed. But I thought, oh my God, Music and Anderson are going to walk out of here. They're not even going to stay to talk to me after this game because I'm playing like crap. But you took a chance, and I appreciate you. And thank you for helping me craft my game into more than just being a shooter. You taught me how to be tough and to take it into the hole and not be a baby, like you would say. And this is something special. Thank you for never telling me no when I kept inching back from the three-point line. She never told me no. She never told me it was stupid or it was a dumb shot. I mean, she might have said it was a dumb shot, but she never told me to stop shooting. And that's something that no other coach, really coaches will tell their kids to stop shooting, and our coaches never did because they believed in us. She brought it up last weekend when I saw her in Wichita. I went 0 for 10 from the three-point line against Lubbock Christian in the first half. And I just remember going to halftime thinking, oh my God, she's going to say something. 0 for 10, that's bad. Taking 10 threes in one half is bad, first of all. And she didn't. She said, make a shot. And I went out, and I would think I was like 5 for 5 in the second half because she believed in me. So thank you for always pushing us to be the best. You truly believe in every player that you have, and you never give up on any of them. And thank you for coaching me the way that you did. She mentioned a little bit about how she could yell at Hayden and I, but she didn't mention the words that she said that I can't repeat in a setting like this. But you really made us tough to be in the real world and understand that it's not about you. It's not about what they're saying to you. People get through stuff every day, and you made me tough. So thank you. I love you. Thank you for accepting my hugs nowadays, even though you're not a hugger. I appreciate you. And Josh, thank you so much for dedicating countless hours to us to take a 130-pound freshman and make her to where she wasn't going to get eaten alive in the paint. I really appreciate you and everything you did for us at SWOL. And not only on the court, but off the court, you two made such a huge difference in my life. You really gave me a home away from home. I had never been away from home at that time. I had such a huge support system with my family, and I There had been things that had gone on early in my life that I didn't like being away from my family, but you two gave me a family here, and I really appreciate you. And you two gave me my babies. Maddox, Cam, Ty, Sis, Keenan, Emma, and Creed. Sorry, Creed's the new baby, so. You giving me those babies was one of the best gifts. You know, I didn't get a chance to be the big sister that I wanted to be since I lost my baby brother at an early age, but you guys gave me that opportunity to have that, and I really appreciate that. I got to watch Maddox play in a basketball tournament last week up with the 6th graders, and the whole time I just kept thinking, God, I'm old. Like, this kid that was 2 years old when I first came here is now playing MAYB basketball. Like, are you kidding me? So thank you, guys. And to my parents, you both have given me everything and more than I could have ever imagined. Dad, thank you for always being there for me, for every call. And no matter what time, you're going to answer. And if any of you in this room ever needed anything, even if you're a complete stranger to my dad, he would help you. And that's something that I've always admired about him. And you've always been my biggest protector. And that's proving it so when I was in 4th grade playing up with 7th graders, and I got fouled and a girl shoved my face into the ground and I broke out all my teeth and I was bleeding, and he comes up and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I'm just mad now. I'm about to go after the girl. So I'm like, Dad, get out of here. And he's like, hey, your face. And that's when I realized I had no front teeth. And like I said, I looked at you like, what are you doing? And you looked at the refs and said, I'll meet you outside after this game. So you almost got us all kicked out of that one. But I appreciate you being my protector. Your work ethic is something that I've always wanted to strive for. And you've taught me that even if it doesn't go my way, work harder to change it. So thank you for being a rock in my life and the best dad in the world. Mom, my best friend. I don't think you've ever missed a single basketball game of mine except for that one that I got my teeth knocked out because you were coaching your high school girls, and maybe a couple college games here and there, but like Coach said, you were always listening to the radio, or you were always online watching streaming games. And I could always tell, because if I knew I was playing bad, I could hear my phone vibrating during halftime, and I just knew it was her texting me like, get it together, or make a shot or something. She was my first coach and my first fan. She coached me ever since I was little, probably 2 years old, if I could even walk then, but you were still a coach for me. You know, I remember when I was in the YMCA Little League basketball, she just threw me in there, and I would get the ball, and everyone was so much bigger than me. I had no business being out there, but she would just yell, go! And I went, even if I shouldn't have. But you taught me how to strive to be the best basketball player I could be. And you made me realize that I should never give up any time I wanted to. You wouldn't accept anything less. And I'm forever grateful that you helped me be the most competitive person, or try to be the most competitive person on the floor at any given time. Without you, I wouldn't have any of this. You gave up a lot of hours to help me be here today. I love you and thank you for being the best mom. And to my best friend, Trevor, thank you for being here with me tonight, even though you have no idea what happened here. You didn't get to experience the magic, and I'm really sorry. I talk about it all the time, and actually opened up my laptop the other night, and I was showing him like clips from the national championship game, and I was like, oh, look at that shot, or look at that rebound, and he's like, yeah, it's great. So thank you so much for helping me live out my glory days still. And to my teammates, my best friend, Katie, who just had my other best friend, Crew, is the cutest baby in the world, so thank you for being here tonight. Hayden, I'm so proud of you. And Doug, you were essentially a teammate on the SWOSU women's basketball team, let's be real. So how lucky am I that this team gave me my best friends who will be with me every walk in this life. The people who I know would help me in an instant if I needed it. And you don't see teams like the one that we had. We had a team that will forever be bonded as family, who I know I could call them, Tyra, Taylor, I could call you guys, you could call me, we'd be there for each other. Hayden, I'm so proud of you. We've literally been through it all. We came here on the first day, we lived together, we have been through it all. Having you as a teammate was something I would never change. You pushed me, you were always there for me, and you also checked me when I was wrong, so I appreciate you. I'm proud of the women that we both have become, and I'm so proud to see you coaching alongside those two women. You know, Hayden said it earlier, but Coach would always say that this is the best 4 years of your life, and we've talked about it within the last, how long has it been, 4 years? Those really were the best 4 years of our lives, and we would do anything to get it back. And if I could change my hair color or something and go back and play, I would. And you know, all of the individual accolades that poor Helton had to just speak through, they're great, but they don't really mean anything because probably Kelly Litch already beat me in half of them anyway. But what really matters is us getting to the national tournament our junior and senior year, and like Coach said, really defining a legacy that people will be able to look up to for the rest of SWOSU's time. And lastly, to this university and all of the people in this room tonight. I've seen old professors, Joel, and old friends and faces, like I said, that I was used to seeing every single day for 4 years. That's hard, going from seeing all of you to never seeing you until the auction. I mean, it's really hard. But we really had the best support system here and the best people. I mean, you guys would host us for dinners like every night. It got to the point where I was having to turn food away sometimes because of how many times you guys would host us. And that's really special, and not every place gets something like that. And you didn't even have to come tonight. I mean, I didn't know what to expect with this, but I didn't expect, or I should have expected this because it's just how amazing you all are. And you didn't have to be at every game, especially the ones that you had to drive 15, 16 hours to get to, but you were there. Some of you even took a bus that broke down, I'm pretty sure, a couple times to get to the national championship, so I appreciate you. And a lot of you were out here watching those games on a projector. And that, when we saw that video, when we got on the bus after those games, that was the most incredible thing that I've ever seen in my life. So it's not just Hayden and I and Woody going into the Hall of Fame tonight. It's all of us who have supported SWOSU women's basketball, SWOSU any sport. So thank you. Because for the last time, I was lucky enough to be a part of this program and to call myself a Bulldog for life. This is such an incredible honor, so thank you, President Laval. Thank you to the SWOSU Athletics Foundation and Alumni Association, Garrett. I'm so thankful for everything that this university has given me. Thank you.
I have two questions for Hailey. First, when you referred to the old professor, would that be the provost right there?
I didn't mean old. I didn't realize that came out. I'm sorry, Joel.
Dr. Kendall is second in charge at the university, and I thought that was a great statement. We may have to keep teasing him about that. I also wanted to point out that there's a lot of facts on your sheet here about your time here. It says, let's see, that you became the first player in Great American Conference to score 2,000 career points, remains the league's all-time leader in scoring 2,360 points. You had 224 block shots and 276 three-point makes. I was thinking that's not bad for a rag doll.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why I had to scoot back off the three. Yeah.
Thank you very much for all you do. Last year you were our MC for our athletic banquet, and tomorrow night you're going to do the same for us. Thank you for continuously giving back to the university. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
And here's from the archives.
Have you enjoyed tonight? Hasn't this been fun? Man, Vance Nye, this is like nirvana for you and Ruben. I mean, SWOSU Athletics, the living encyclopedia of SWOSU Athletics is Ruben or Vance. Let's give our honorees one more big round of applause. Coach Roof, congratulations. Hayden, Hailey, so good to see you all. If our honorees would, when we adjourn, each of you make your way to your little, I call them body pillows because that's what they look like, but this big old sleeve photo of you, if you would, and probably Josh, we need to move, Haley's out from Coach Roof. We're going to do photos of each honoree next to their pillar, and then you get to take them home with you, so have fun. Figure that out on your overhead compartment. And Colby there in the blue polo will take your photo. And have I covered anything else that needs? I think we've taken photos. Again, we want to thank SWOSU Food Services. We want to thank our incredible athletic association, and we want to thank all of you. Good night.